Okay, verses 29 through 35. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaints? Who has needless bruises? Who has bloodshot eyes? Those who linger over wine, who go to sample bowls of mixed wine. Do not gaze at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a snake and poisons like a viper. Your eyes will see strange sights, and your mind will imagine confusing things. You will be like one sleeping on the high seas, lying on top of the rigging. They hit me, you will say, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't feel it. When will I wake up so I can find another drink? Anyway, it was a long time ago, or a number of weeks ago, we kind of talked about these verses, looking up something. And, the idea there of the sleeping on the high seas is just the rocking back and forth. The person, you ever seen the drunk walk down the road? Kind of swaying back and forth, yeah. Like one lying on top of the rigging, way up in the mast. They hit me. How many times have you heard of an accident where a drunk driver kills somebody and the drunk driver walks away? Right? So they hit me, but I'm not hurt. They beat me, but I don't even feel it. So Solomon, interestingly, this is verses 29 through 35. I think of all these 30 wisdom sayings, this is the longest. Why would Solomon give more space to warn about alcohol than he does about adultery or fornication? Anybody have Ephesians 5:18 memorized? Okay. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to reckless and immoral choices. Instead, be filled with the Holy Spirit. Okay? That's what that verse says. Do not get drunk on wine, which leads to reckless and immoral choices. I remember years ago hearing a shocking statistic. And so I did some quick research today to see if that statistic was still true. My memory was something like, I thought the statistic was something like 70% or a little bit over 70% of young women who lost their virginity said that they did it while under the influence of alcohol. And so I did some studying to see. And the recent statistics are even worse. This article comes from the Paul Anderson Youth Home in Vidalia, Georgia. 80% of first sexual experiences occur under the influence of alcohol. This is not exactly how most girls dreamed of losing their virginity. It's not surprising that 2/3 of teen girls regret having sex. Alcohol lowers inhibitions, impairs judgment, and interferes with decision-making. Alcohol abuse is directly related to unplanned and risky sexual behavior. And here are some of the facts. 80% of first sexual experiences occur under the influence of alcohol. 51% of college students believe alcohol facilitates sexual opportunities. 40% of men believe it is acceptable to force sex on a woman who is drunk. 32% of sexual assaults of college students occur at parties. Almost 50% of unplanned sexual encounters are under the influence of alcohol. By their senior year in college, 81% of students have had sex because they were drunk. College students who mix alcohol and sex report having more partners whom they know only slightly or moderately. In 2/3 of unplanned pregnancies, the woman was intoxicated during sex. 60% of STDs are transmitted when the partners are drunk. Now, you know, because we've had these conversations before in Bible studies and so forth, that the Bible does not condemn any and all drinking, but it does condemn drunkenness, and it certainly warns of the negative effects of the influences of alcohol. So I know those statistics were a little bit startling, but that is information you should have if you have daughters or sons or granddaughters and grandsons. You might be able to spare them a lot of guilt, shame, and struggle if you share that wisdom with them.